How do you want to be remembered after this life? This seemed to be a question that came up many times, but I never fully understood it until after my parents had already passed away. I never understood why they were making such big sacrifices when we never appreciated them in the moment. One of these included the family rule of being at every event. This meant that as a family member, you never missed a soccer game, a volleyball game, a dance recital, or anything in between. At times, it was nice to have family there to support you. At other times, it was embarrassing when your dad was escorted off because he was too mouthy with the referee. One sacrifice that I will never forget and that I will always appreciate, though, happened when I was 12 years old. I had 2 bones in my foot fused together from playing sports. I knew I was going to have surgery, but I was really nervous, and all I wanted was my mom. It was really a complicated time, though, for her too, because 2 years prior, she had been diagnosed with cancer. She had already gone through multiple rounds of chemotherapy and radiation, and at this point, she was close to losing her life. She had already been in a wheelchair, and at this time, she could only sit for a maximum of an hour before she needed to get out of her wheelchair. This meant that sitting through my surgery was going to be really difficult, but my mom never left my side. My mom was there through all of it because she knew how important it was to me. I was the one that thought I was going through something so difficult in that moment, but in reality, my mom's situation was much more difficult. I will forever be grateful for what she did for me that day and the sacrifice that she made for me. 6 years later, my dad made a very similar sacrifice. I was coming to college to go to Brigham Young University, but prior to that, my dad had just been diagnosed with leukemia. At that point, he was going through chemotherapy and radiation at the same time, meaning he was really sick from all of these medications. My dad had promised me that he would never miss a big event in my life, and that included bringing me to college. In the moment, it may have sounded really silly that I did not want to come across the country from Florida alone, but my dad made the sacrifice to come with me across the country. At this time, he could only stand for about 20 minutes before he got really sick. I will never forget that sacrifice he made because he loved me so much and he never wanted me to feel alone. These sacrifices that my parents made never clicked in my head until I had my own child. Once I had my first child, I realized why my parents had done what they had done. My parents put their family first. They always made sure that each of us children felt loved, protected, and taken care of. I will never forget the example that they were to me and the parent that I want to be now because of what they have taught me. I know that right now my children do not understand every sacrifice that my husband and I make on their behalf right now, but hopefully one day they will be able to understand what we have done and how we have helped them learn to flourish in this world today. I want to end with a quote that I have grown to love that is very simple but very near and dear to my heart. It is by Michael J. Fox, and it says, "Family is not an important thing. It is everything." Family really is everything. This is why we make sacrifices. We make sacrifices so that our families know how much we love them, and I know this to be true.